I am joined by the young bull himself, Collin Sexton. What's going on?
What's good? How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. It feels good to finally have you on the podcast. You're looking
Oh
fresh
yeah.
over there. How's the off season been?
It's been good. Definitely been good. Just pretty much just been working, get my body right. I feel healthy and I'm excited. It's gonna be definitely a good year. It's gonna be a fun year as well. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm so excited for you. It's going to be such a great season. Now, for let's like rewind just a little bit.
Okay.
So before we get into this season and everything that you've done and all the accomplishments, it's so hard to be good at just one thing. Like just one thing. I'm trying to be good at broadcasting. So for you to be at the best of the best, the top tier at one thing, there had to be a moment for you. Like I thought I was going to the NBA for the longest time. You couldn't tell me anything differently. And I'm like, dang, all right, I'm not going to the league. So what was the moment for you where you're like, dang, okay, hold on, like I think I could really do this. Like, was it a game? Was it a practice? Was it a certain moment?
I would say it wasn't a certain moment or a certain day. I feel like it was just like over a period of time. I feel like once I like got to 11th grade, once I got to 12th grade, like it was more of those things like, okay, things are starting to click and pieces are starting to fall in place. And I was able to show what I could do on some of the highest levels, whether it was like UIBL or USA, or even when I went to Alabama, like I was able to show what I could do. So some of those things, of course, those thoughts like going caught my head here and there, but I try not to let them like really stay there. You know what I mean? Sometimes you allow thoughts to linger in your head, and it's hard for you to do anything else but just keep thinking, thinking, thinking. So I just wanted to let everything just fall in place.
That's amazing. And now, was there what was like the game where was there a coach? Was there a mentor? It was like, hey, like this is where you got to start taking things seriously. Like people are going to start looking at you. You're about to get some conversations. You're about to get some offers. Was there any moment like that or anyone in particular?
I wouldn't say not anything in particular for instance, but I would say like just growing up, just trying to do the right thing. Of course, like we all knuckleheads, we all can stir the pot a little bit and do things just not the right way. And I just wanted to just try to continue to stay on a right path. I know my dad, he always told me like stay on the right path and everything would work out. Just stay focused, and that's one thing just I tried to do is just stay focused on what was the task at hand.
Right. And shout out to Laquan real quick because I remember
Oh
um,
yeah.
telling me about it. And yeah, that's fam. That's Cuzzo. He doesn't have a moment to talk back and like trash talk with me. So I'm going to use this moment to say, hey, I'm telling you, I shoot better than him.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
Got you.
yeah, I'm gonna utilize this moment. But he was like, hey, he outworks everybody. And like when he wanted, like he's very, very serious about it. And he said that about you even when you're in high school, obviously, and like that. I'm like, yeah, that's the type of people that take that next step. It's like not even just how talented you are. Are you able to be disciplined enough off the court, stay out of trouble, stay focused, and keep that pursuit? So that's incredible.
I would say the discipline is definitely tough. I feel like
Yeah.
you have to be it has to be in you. You can't just wake up and be like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna do the right thing the right way. I'm gonna put in my time. I'm gonna eat right. I'm gonna work in the gym every day. It's little things like that. It takes a lot of discipline to do those things, but it has to be in you if you want to. So.
Right. Facts. Yeah, it really does. Now, Young Bull, like that's a nickname. Like some people have nicknames. Young Bull, that stands out. And I believe the way your mentality is has caused like this movement. So many people gravitate towards you. You've had so many viral clips when you're the dude staring at you at the free throw line. Like, take me through that moment. We'll talk about the Young Bull, but that moment, did you know it was going to go viral like that? Like, I think
Oh
everyone who
no.
plays basketball has seen that video.
I definitely didn't. I didn't know it was gonna go viral at all. I honestly can't even remember doing it. My guy Tyler Hoop Diamond, shout out him. He was the one that captured the moment and he posted it. And after that, it just blew up. But I didn't know anything about it. I didn't remember doing it at all. It was just one of those things that just happened.
Yeah, yeah. You have that look about you. You really do. Now, that young bull, that dog mentality. The first time I ever spoke to you, that interview in the locker room, and I was
Yep.
like, you have that dog mentality. And is that something that, like you were just saying earlier, you have to be born with that? Like, not everyone has that. You always had it?
I would say I always had it. It was always in me, pretty much. I feel like growing up, having to do things of like work little jobs with my family and grind, clean buildings, like things like that. Do lawn all the time, whether it was night, like 12 a.m. to maybe 2, 3 a.m. Knocking those things out, just it built character for me, but it also brought aside that like most people can't say. Like I know how it feels to do some of those jobs. I know how it feels to not to want to do those jobs. So like in this
Yeah.
position, in my position now, I want to just continue to strive forward so I don't have to do any of those things again.
Now, did you give yourself the name Young Bull, or was there a coach, or is there a
Oh
teammate?
no, it
Where
was
did that come about?
pretty much just everybody in the neighborhood. Pretty much just started calling me that, and it picked up. Once it picked up, it stuck, and now everyone calls me that or Bull whenever.
Yeah, no, no, yeah. You have that dog mentality. So let's go to that special moment. I've only experienced it through 2K. So tell me what that's like in person. All this hard work, all this time, blood, sweat, and tears, ups and downs. You finally get that moment. You hear the commissioner call your name. You get drafted. Take me through that moment. What was the feeling? Was it everything you thought it would be? What was that like?
I would say it was everything I thought it would be plus more.
Mm,
I'm gonna be honest with you. It was one of those things of all your hard work, all your sacrifice, all your family sacrifice that they made for you to get to this point. And you hearing that name, like hearing your name called, and that's all that you can do is just smile and just pretty much just be happy in the moment. It's a moment that I would say it's. I don't know too many things that's gonna be able to top it. Maybe NBA championship will be up there for
ooh,
sure, but I would say that moment right there is very high on my my
yeah.
list. Sure.
Heck. And I know there was like LeBron conversation going around that time, and I think what you did really well is you handled that extremely well because they know no matter who was going to get drafted to Cleveland, that LeBron question was going to get brought up.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
the way you handled that, I thought was amazing. Like you just welcomed no matter what opportunity, whether it was with him, whether it was without him, and I think that's why Cleveland really embraced you the way they did. Did you kind of sense that as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel like the fan base definitely embraced that as well, and I feel like Cleveland had one of the best fan bases when I was there for sure. Because they, when that was the year when the Browns was losing, they still was showing up. It was snowing outside. They still was showing up and supporting them. It was crazy, but Cleveland definitely a city like of fans for sure.
And now we look at Cleveland. So you've been successful, Alabama, high school, AAU. You've had all these moments of success. You get to the NBA, and there's a lot of people who, I mean, I'm still trying to get to that point where like, I made it. Now, I've
Yeah.
heard, I can't speak from experience. There's people who are like, okay, cool. Like I made it. My family's straight. I'm good. I can chill. And then you have the greats who are like, nah, like now I made it. Now it's my turn to take over. So was there I don't want to say did that mindset ever cross your mind, but did you like, okay, like I can now it's time to get to work.
I would say on draft night, it was one of those things. Okay, I heard my name called. All right, now it's time to see it through. Like I want it to stick. I don't want it just to be the one moment or this is it. Like no, now that
Yeah.
I'm drafted, now you got to do that much more to stay in this position. You got to do that much more to stay in the league. I feel like most guys do get comfortable and they stop working and stop putting in the time that they were doing that it took for them to get to the point. So that's not me. I want to just continue to. I want more. I want more for myself, but also I want more for my family. I feel like a lot of people depend on me, so I want to show them like no matter if I'm tired, no matter if I'm sick, I'm gonna get up and work.
For sure. For sure. Now be honest with me. You don't have to call any player out in particular, but was there like a you're like, okay, like I know I'm good, but let's see how good I can be in this league. I know the summer league you had another viral clip because like you just embraced the defensive end.
Yeah,
You're like, okay, look, that's how you know someone's special when you can point out, like for example, The Last Dance. We all know how great Michael Jordan is, but like I think
absolutely.
what shocked most people was like, dude, like he would take dinners personal. Like, oh, you didn't look at me at dinner? Okay, I got
Okay,
you.
I'm taking it personal. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Um, I would
talk,
say I would say for me, I take everything personal. At the end of the day, like someone scoring me, I take it personal, but I don't take it to personal where it's a one-on-one matchup. I just hold myself to a high standard of I need to get a stop or I want to do well. So I feel like each game that I go into, I try to make it tough for the point guard that I'm going against. Regardless, in this league, you're not going to stop anybody from scoring at all. But the only thing you can do is make it hard on them, wear them down, and just try to make it a tough night. If they score 30, they're going to score 30. But make sure that 30 isn't easy. Make sure that they feel you. Make sure that they know that you're there.
right. And now So you embraced both ends immediately, like which is crazy because that's what you did. You did exactly that. So how about the NBA now? So you're there. You know how you have milestones, right? So now you got drafted. Now you're playing. You're playing well. When did you know, like, oh wait a second, I'm not just an NBA player. Like I'm one of the best NBA players. Like when did that hit?
I would say just it's still there. Like I want to be more. Like I'm not settled. Like I'm not satisfied where I am right now. I feel like I have some other goals and some other things that I still want to achieve. So when I work every day, I'm working to those goals. Um, I feel like anybody that gets satisfied is one of those things like, okay, you comfortable. I never want to be comfortable at any given time. I don't want to feel like, oh, I'm comfortable right now. I want to feel the uncomfortable times. I want to feel the tough times because those really show you who you are and also how you bounce back. Sometimes when people go through things, they're able to bounce back or not, and that really shows you your true determination. So.
So let's talk about those obstacles because you clearly you have that approach where like you're attacking your obstacles, you're not letting them attack you. And so you go through these injuries, which I can only imagine is beyond frustrating. I could only imagine. I fractured my ankle. I was going insane just being in the house. So people forget you guys, even though you appear as superheroes, because you're doing these amazing things, you're getting all the accolades, but you guys are people at the end of the day. So what was that like just dealing with the injuries and just kind of focusing on the recovery? What was that stage for you?
I would say just being patient. I feel like patience is one thing that I would say all NBA players hate is hearing the word patient, but it's important. Being patient and allowing things to fall in place and not try to rush back. Sometimes you rush back, you get injured again, or sometimes you try to force things to happen. It may not be the right situation. So just being patient really allows you to really what's for you is for you.
Right. Yeah, and I feel like it gives you this opportunity to just like mature mentally too. Like just
Oh
the
yeah.
fact that you take that moment, watch the game, think about how much you miss it, and
Yeah.
like there's blessings in disguise. Like everything happens for a reason.
I feel like sometimes when you go through those things, you don't realize how much you love something until it's taken away from you.
Mm,
And when the game is taken away from you, it really shows you how much you love it and care about it. And whatever you're going to do now, from this point on, you're going to do it so that you can be out there on the court. So,
wow. Yeah, that's a gem right there. So when I don't know if you recall, I mean, obviously I'm sure you do. When Anthony Davis, he had all those trade rumors. He finally ends up in LA. I never had a chance to ask him this, so I got to talk to LeBron, but I wanted to ask AD. I'm like, you just got traded. Obviously, you wanted to be here, and I think everyone's so quick to be like, "Oh, how do you expect you're going to play?" But I think like moving cities is hard. Like when you knew I moved to Atlanta, and I'm like,
yeah.
"Wow, like this is a change. Like I'm in a completely different city, new routines, new places." What is that like now that you're in Utah and you do have that trade moment? What was that like for you in that adjustment period?
It was an adjustment, like you said. It was something that was different. It was something that I didn't know what to expect coming into the door. But I was open minded. I knew it was going to be different. I knew it wasn't just going to happen overnight. So I just stayed patient, like we said, just staying patient and allowed the cars to fall the way they needed to. And I feel like I've been blessed to be in two great cities, Cleveland as well as here in Utah, and coming from Atlanta, it's so busy, and going to Cleveland, going to Utah, like it's real calm. I'm able to be at peace and really just show like work, and focus mostly on that.
Right. And so to you, I really love what Utah's been doing. Like they've always been a well-run organization. Obviously, you got Dwayne Wade involved now and things of that nature. So for you, what does it mean to be a Utah Jazz? You have an organization with such a rich history, some of the all-time greats, some of the greatest point guards ever,
Yeah.
John Stockton. What is that like to just throw on that Jazz uniform?
It's a different type of feeling just knowing all the greats that played, whether in the arena, the Delta Center, or even just wore the jersey. At the end of the day, like you take pride with the name across your chest, but also it's one of those things like you're playing before a lot of fans who really love the Jazz, who've grown up as Jazz. Grandparents have been Jazz fans forever, so you're not just playing for yourself. I feel like you're playing for a whole community as well as a whole state. And here in Utah, we're a professional team that like it's you know what I mean. It's no other NFL, MLB. It's us, and it just shows like how the games are crazy. You got to make sure you get to a game. We got to definitely get you to a game. The games are crazy. The fan base is ridiculous. And it's good. It's a good place, but also it's one of those communities that they allow you just to show Utah, okay, like this is a place for family. This is also a place to really build something. And I feel like the team this year, we're going to be pretty good.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second. That's incredible, by the way. I would absolutely love to go to a Utah game. I got to get out there. Um,
Definitely.
so your team, you're extremely competitive. Obviously, that's what's gotten you to this point. You want to win absolutely everything. So,
Absolutely.
what is your expectations? You guys have a lot of really nice pieces. You guys are young. You guys get up and down. What are your expectations for the team and what you're looking to fulfill and succeed this upcoming season?
I would say just be better than last year. Be better than last year. Get to the playoffs and do it together. At the end of the day, we're doing it together. Everybody gets to shine. Everybody eats. And when you have that mindset and you know, like, okay, well, I gotta feed this person because they're the glue. They're the person that get things going. And so that's basically my mindset going into the season is just pretty much just be helpful and be the giver. You know what I mean? Of course, I know I can score. I know I can defend. But when I'm out there just setting guys up and doing that a little bit more, and also just playing all 82. My team they need me to play all 82 this year, and I got I'm getting my body right, and I feel great. I'm excited. My body is 100% back, and I'm excited. It's time.
That's I cannot wait. As far as an individual now, is there anything? Obviously, you're a team-oriented guy.
Oh yeah.
It goes without saying. But is there anything specifically that you're going out for other than just wins for the team? Is there any goals that you have for yourself?
Well, the one goal is to stay healthy the entire season, get to the playoffs, and just be better than last year. At the end of the day, just keep stacking days and coming in every day ready to go. And whatever the team is needed, I got you. You know what I mean? Like, and just being that player that, oh, he's good. And playing both ends, like, one goal for me is to be a defensive team player. Um, I wanna guard the best player on the other court on the other side. Like that's one thing for me that I take pride in, and I know I can do it.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you do it already. Yeah, you already do it. So yeah, I can see that. So talk to me about some matchups here. I got to ask. So,
Okay.
is there any player that you look forward to the most playing? Is there anyone that you just love their game? You're like, I just want to test myself against this person. Do you have anyone that stands out to you?
Kyrie, that's my guy. Kyrie, that's my guy. He he's one person that I enjoy playing, and I know like he's gonna give it to me every time. And I feel like one thing about him, he's always cool, always level headed. He's one of those people that you can talk to pretty much about anything. And um, I I feel like that's one player that I always look forward to. The matchups are just because it's like my defense is going against his offense and just trying to make it tough on him every night.
Do you think he's the most skilled player ever when you hear that convo? When you look at his bag and he can do everything left, right. Like I told him, he's like him and KD at the time. I was like, you
Yeah.
guys are the greatest artist duo. Like it's literally a blank canvas every time you guys go down there. Do you think he's the most skilled player ever?
When you're thinking about skilled players, I would say it's just the time and the error. To be honest, I feel like Allen Iverson was very skilled. He was very, I mean, he was nice with it. But like right now, he's one of those players. But you also, what is he like? What are you measuring? Like, what's the measuring tool? You know what I mean? Like, who's
Yeah.
the guy? Just like say we talk about the GOAT conversation, either LeBron, Kobe, you know, like Michael. That's like the conversation. So when you're talking about skilled players, you got to put other guys in that conversation so that
Right.
there is something to contrast and compare. But I'm gonna be honest with you, he's one of the hardest people to guard for sure. Even like Dame, like you seen everything that happened today with Dame. Dame is tough to guard. He's just one of those people that has no conscience. He can shoot it from half court. Him and Steph. Steph just moves without the ball. But I want one thing about Steph. He doesn't even have to score to make guys better. Like he moves without the ball so good that he always finds a way to get his teammate open. And it reminds me just how much like I used to watch the old Pistons and how Rip Hamilton used to move around a lot, and he never stopped moving. And that's basically how Steph plays out there. Of course, he shoots more threes and stuff, but he moves nonstop.
Yeah, I think that people forget that, right? Like they see how much he creates, but like if you watch him play, he does not stop moving. I can only imagine what it's like running around over screens and trying to pick
Trying
him
to
up.
chase him. Absolutely. Definitely.
Oh,
It's definitely tough, especially when you got Draymond, who is arguably one, like, of course, he's one of the people that can pass the ball, but he's just so smart. Like Draymond is one of the smartest basketball players that there is. You know what I mean? And I feel like he knows the game so well that it's easy for him to like, okay, all right, well, Steph, this what I see, and they have that dynamic relationship where they can bounce things off of each other, and of course, everybody just know Draymond of being like this hoorah player, but he's very very smart. Of course, he's going to give you that on the other end, but he he can play, and I feel like people forget Draymond can shoot, like he can shoot it. It's just sometimes when you're looking to pass, sometimes those are some the hardest shots to make is when you're looking to pass and then try to shoot it. But Draymond can shoot, and he's a pretty good finisher. So
yeah, people forget that game 7 against Cleveland. We think of the Kyrie LeBron moment in that block,
yeah,
but Draymond was going crazy in that game 7. He
that's
had
what
like
I'm saying.
24
Like yeah,
plays.
yeah, absolutely. Like I feel like people definitely forget, but he's also an all-around player. You look up, he every stat sheet is filled. Steals, blocks, everything is filled. Points, like he's one of those players.
He gets it. He's so smart. He's actually one of the people that's like I've interviewed him like post game, but I want to have him on the show, like because he has a podcast of his own. That's one of those guys I want to be able to
Okay.
talk to.
Yeah.
For you, before we get in these, my last kind of fun questions for you, was there someone growing up, like you said, there's obviously you're a student of the game. Was there anyone in particular you try to mirror your game off of, or did you kind of just take the best of, like I watched Kobe Muse, like I was a huge Kobe guy, and I remember he would like, okay, I want to pass like Magic, I want to be able to use my left hand like this. Were you kind of the same thing?
Um, I would say I would watch a lot of like certain guys. I used to love watching like Allen Iverson, of course, but like I like Brandon Roy. I like watching. Ooh, I feel like his highlights are crazy. People got to go look at him for sure. But like for him, like he's one of those people who could shoot it. He was explosive. Like he might dunk you one time. He might like it was just one of those time like players that really played at a different flow. But I definitely like watching him, watching Allen Iverson. I even love watching like Ricky Davis. He was wild. Like he played hard. And Gilbert, I love watching Gilbert, and I love the pace that he played. He could shoot it, he could score it. Like it was nothing that he couldn't do. And there's some of the people that I definitely love watching.
Yeah, those are some good people to pick. Now, here are the fun questions. And now there's obviously no right or wrong answer here. But I'm pretty sure I've liked my lineup against anyone that doesn't have this lineup. If
All right.
there were aliens that came down to Earth, the definition of what Space Jam was, and you had to pick 5 people to start in your all-time starting 5. It doesn't have to necessarily be your best 5, but they mesh the best together. What is your all-time starting 5?
Oh, that's tough. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's tough. I know certain spots like MJ, Shaq gotta be in the top. In the rest, it's so hard because at the end of the day, I'm gonna be honest with you, guys now have been like, even the next generation is going to be a little bit better than we are now. It's just like because they're starting earlier, they're being able to experience a little bit more. Like that's a hard conversation to have, just because I don't think it's just 5 players that are the best ever. You know what I mean? Because like even now, Magic Johnson for me was in my top 5 forever. Like, and I feel like you know what I mean? He's arguably one of the best point guards ever. But then if you're talking about point guards, you're gonna put Steph in there. So is Steph a point guard, or you know what I mean? So it's like little things like that. But I would say just if you're in that topic, no matter the top 5, the top 15, top 20, like you're an amazing player. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you can't just pick 5 greats. Is very very hard, very very hard. So
Yeah. My answer would always be, because I try not to, like you said, it's not necessarily who's better. Like if you say Magic's better than Steph, I completely, like most would probably agree with that. But for shooting, I would go Steph. I got Jordan in there. I got
yeah,
Braun at the 3. And instead of Bird at the 4, I put KD at the 4. I need more shooting and spacing.
Listen,
And, and then I put Shaq at the 5.
see, I just feel like it's a top 5 for each position. You know what I mean? Like you can't you cannot just go wrong. You can't just pick one person to be in that
Yeah.
starting like someone like even that USA team of the year, like Kobe,
Trey,
Melo, Dwayne Wade, LeBron, like that alone, you can't put all those guys out there. You know what I mean? So it's one of CP. It was just crazy like to see that. So think about just 5 all time is I don't
yeah.
know. You can't do
So
it.
it's pretty much impossible to have one answer for this too. But I'm going to
Okay.
ask you:
Talk
Do
to me.
you the GOAT conversation, man? I'm going to have to ask you this. So, do you have the greatest of all time? Some people are like, hey, it's Jordan. Some people know it's LeBron. Some people say Kareem. So you got to pay Bill respect. You got to pay Kobe respect. Who is your GOAT?
Um, I would say I'm gonna give you 3. I'm going Mike, I'm going Kobe because of the eras, and then LeBron. I gotta go with the different eras. I can't just pick one. Just because it's like, okay, what would Jordan do in this era? Like it's one of those topics, or LeBron back then. And I'm gonna be honest with you, being on the same court with LeBron and just seeing how good he is up close and how smart he is. Because there's been times out there on the court that he done called the last couple plays out, and you're like, hold on, like he's
But that's
smart. You know what I
real.
mean? Yeah, definitely. He definitely knows the game. And when I was in Cleveland, he would be calling a lot of things out for sure. But he's a smart player. He's a genius. You know what I mean? He's up there with Draymond, Chris Paul. Like people don't know, CP is a whiz out there. Even Russ is smart. Like Russ is very very smart, and he knows like they know the game, and you can't just pick one or two. Like it's different era.
Wow, I can only imagine like just what that's like to be playing. You're playing your heart out, and then you got a guy like Braun and CP who just study everything, and they're able to just call stuff out.
And I would say even like Dame is someone that knows knows how he's going to get his shots against each and every team because he watches film. He watches those hours. Okay, they're in a deep drop with this big, or they're going to switch here. Like sometimes the schemes kind of stay the same here and there, but
Yeah.
he's able to really focus in on that. And he's such a good shooter that it's hard to, you know what I mean? If you sag back, he's gonna shoot it. You step up, someone gonna set a screen high, he gonna come off free. So just pretty much just picking and choosing, I would say, with some of those guys.
Yeah, and the last thing I would have for you to piggyback off that, Dame, I love the way he leads. I love his mentality. I love his approach. He's an all-in type of guy. Him with Giannis, we talked about it briefly earlier. I just feel like that's a match made in heaven. Like he even said, one guy I would love to play with is Giannis, and I know Miami's been a big talking point, but that duo just seems like it works on paper, right?
Um, I just feel like Dame is like I've worked out with Dame this past summer, and he's a teacher. You know what I mean? He's a
Yeah,
teacher. He's also a student of the game, and I feel like he's not too big for the moment. He's also not too big for this or that. He's somebody that you can have a real conversation with him. It could be about basketball. It could be about life. Like
yeah.
he's that type person. So wherever he's at, I know that he'll be able to figure things out.
Heck yeah, I'm rooting for that. Colin, I appreciate you. Is there anything that you need to get off your chest? Anything for the fans? Anything for you that I may have left out before I give you your flowers and let you go?
No, nothing at all. I appreciate you for having me. Definitely, it's gonna be a good season this year. I'm excited, and we're gonna definitely tune in again sometime around like December so we can do another check-in.
Heck yeah, I appreciate you, Colin. Until next time, take off, young bull.
No more. Peace.